What's up, guys?
What up?
Jack and Alex coming at you again. Today we just want to talk a little bit about something that is going to be really hard to explain. But when you feel it, and if you're getting there, maybe this will resonate with you. But talking about our conscience, what that is to you, what that feels like. I've always thought, like, you've seen Pinocchio when you're young, and your conscience is like little Jiminy Cricket telling you, hey, you're doing something wrong, you little dumbass, it's supposed to keep you in alignment with what you're supposed to do. And everybody is going to have a different conscience, because we're all supposed to be here for our own special reason, divine purpose, But, so basically, listening to your conscience is not the easiest thing to do, because it's uncomfortable. It's telling you the truth, and the truth is never the easiest thing to hear. The truth is like, hey, you're fucking up. Hey, you're wasting your time. Hey, you're hanging out with the wrong people. Hey, you're drinking when you shouldn't be. All these things. So it's like, finally, throughout our lives, we all live and experience, and we have our fun. We do our stuff, and it's like, finally, it was just getting clear for both of us. Like, it was crazy at like the same time when we both met.
Yeah.
And we were still having our fun, drinking and partying and doing all these things that used to be such a good time, and they just started to not be a good time because the guilt of our conscience was weighing heavier than the fun was.
Yeah, we were getting older, and it's kind of just a lot heavier. Dude, just kind of like, you're running out of time here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like God's saying, like, dude, I put you here on earth for this thing. Like, I want you to reach so many people and become this potential that I've given you. We've all got our own talents, and it's for a reason. And the guilt you start to feel as you get older, and you're wasting time, not being the healthiest you could be, drinking, eating bad foods, hanging out with the wrong people, just all that. The list goes on. But for us, it took really just removing all those bad things from our lives, just removing the vices. The alcohol, the drugs, stuff like that, removing all that. Then the message starts to get more clear, right? Then it's like, then you start to see how truly special you are and how unique you are, and then you start to see the reasons why. It's like that God made you this way for all these special plans that could happen,
Yeah, because your vision isn't clouded by all the alcohol and the drugs and whatever else. You're not, your inner voice isn't muffled by all of that bullshit that you're putting into your body, and that goes with, eating healthy too, because that can also be a vice.
Totally. It's a huge,
it's a huge comfort.
It's that comfort, instant gratification.
So, yeah, when we first met, I remember being at a party with Jack, and this is like the third time we hung out or something, and I just like looked at him, and it was like probably fucking 3:00 in the morning. It was, just haggard shots all day, other things later, and I mean, how transparent are we going to be on this video?
Not good stuff. We were partaking. We were drinking alcohol and doing drugs, and not stuff that is in alignment with our purpose, that's for sure. Just things that would numb us. And everything is fun when you're on a substance, if you notice that. Like, try being sober and going to a bar and seeing how fun it is. You realize that you don't like bars. You just like Drunky likes bars,
Drunky exactly.
But like you're saying, when we hung out, it was like that third time, so we were still fresh. We were like falling for each other, but I'm like, we would talk about such cool things, like oh, I got plans, I got big ideas, I want to be something great, and then here, let me show you how great I am. I'm gonna freaking get hammered, get wasted, and be hungover the whole next day. It was so incongruent,
And like, whenever it gets to be like 3:00 in the morning, all of us are kind of thinking in our minds like, okay, party's over, or like, keep going. Late. But like, I was just at that point, and so was Jack. It turns out that we were just over it, just kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I feel like we were just lying to ourselves.
Yeah, we're like, we've done this enough, but we're like, this shit ain't working for us anymore. So we just kind of like leveled up with each other, and he actually stopped drinking before I did. I kept going for a little bit, but like the other crazy, like the drugs and stuff, we were done with.
Yeah,
but like
we were done with that.
he was like, should we just like not drink? We can just hang out next time and like go on a hike or something, you know? We're like, okay, yeah. That's kind of where it started. And then he started listening to Wes Watson and
yes, our coach,
and yeah, the rest is history.
The rest is history. I mean, it's an ongoing history. It's what we're doing every day. And the thing is too, like, so what we're getting at is really the vices in our lives, that's what was like blocking out that the voice of God, you know, or a voice of creation that's telling us that we're meant for so much more. When you're partaking in pleasures like just any vice, instant gratification, that's you drown out everything that is trying to be told to you from above. So sobriety and eating healthy and respecting yourself is how you tap into your conscience.
It keeps the door wide open.
Like if anyone's watching this and you still are drinking or partaking, and like, I'm not judging you, dude, we fucking lived 30 years doing that shit, you know, we had our fun.
Yeah.
So not judging anybody, but you're not even gonna understand this really. Like, it's gonna go over your head, because if somebody would have tried to talk to me about listening to my conscience 2 or 3 years ago when I'm like drunk at a bar, I would have been like,
fuck you.
Yeah, or I would have taken it much more simply, like, oh yeah, I got a clear conscience, I don't do wrong to people, you know. But it's like, it's so much deeper than that. You're doing wrong to yourself if you're not living your purpose. You know, if you're just complacent with a average ass life, like, nobody was meant for that. And I mean, the definition of a great life is going to be different for everybody, like, but your full potential is what you should be reaching, and you never will get there if you're not receiving the message from above for what you're supposed to be. So
exactly,
that's why sobriety ties you into listening to your conscience.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I wanted to be the best I could be for Jack too. Likewise, you know, like likewise. I was like, damn, this is actually a really good guy, you know, and he made me feel amazing and like a queen, and I'm like, I want to give him the best. And why wouldn't I want to be the best for my family too, and my loved ones? Like, I love them so much that I want to figure this out, you know. I want to figure out how to be my best so I can help them be theirs, and the world will be a fucking better place. You know,
that's how we change the world, is become a better us, you know.
Yeah.
But like she was saying, our relationship, we were so blessed and so fortunate that we met one another, and it gave us that drive. Like, dude, I just want to be the best me for her. I don't ever want to fuck this up. Like, she's so amazing, you know. I'm so blessed I'll never get a chance like this. So that was like the biggest thing. But you could also take that if you're single, like, dude, if you just put yourself in this position where you like want to be your best, you're gonna attract that perfect person. That's gonna be what's coming to you. And if you're doing the opposite, if you're being a shitbag, like, you're gonna attract all of these more learning lessons. Like, and it's not to say that anybody is a bad person, but people are in bad parts of their lives, and you're gonna attract those people to you. So, but maybe that's where you need to be. Like, we had to learn we had to learn a lot of lessons to get to where we appreciate one another.
A lot of like, so many terrible things that we had to go through, you know. Like, and it's, I mean, sometimes you just can't skip over the lessons, you know. You gotta live them. Like, someone can tell you, you know, like, oh, this is the wrong way, you know, but sometimes you gotta live it,
dude,
just to really learn.
Tell that to a 17-year-old version of us, right?
Yeah, you know, I wish.
You stupid kid, like, yeah, I'm gonna go have all the fun, don't worry, you know?
Yeah, totally. But man, I kind of remember, like, the moment where I changed, like, the trajectory of, like, my life. You know, I was at my sister's wedding, or before her wedding. I actually just had dropped some acid.
Dude.
And, like,
Transparent.
Transparent, yeah.
We live some life over here.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, like I didn't really like want to do it because I had a really bad experience one time before. And but my girlfriend that was there, it was like her first time, and she just fucking put the tab in her mouth, and I'm like, dude, oh, it's your first time, I can't like not do. Oh, it's stupid. Whatever.
But it brought you to a revelation, right?
It brought me to a revelation that anyways, so I went through that. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I felt like fucking lame, you know. My sister had just come back from getting her like marriage license, and she was just kind of like, oh, everyone's doing acid, you know, without me. But anyways, so the next day, like at her, or a couple days later at her wedding, you know, I just saw how in love they were, and like how I felt their love and their soulmate-ness.
Dude, I was blessed to see it too. That's where we met, and I saw Evan and Taylor's love for one another, and it like restored my hope in love. I like same. Seriously, I was like, yeah, well, fuck love, and then
same.
Seeing that,
and I was like, I want that so bad. Like, I'll give up everything. Like, it's gonna make me emotional right now because I'm like, fuck any drug, any substance, anything. Like, that's all we want is love, right? We want to be loved. We want to share our love. And I fucking just had that in my mind. I was like, okay, from here going on, like, I'm gonna fucking get towards that, you know? And
to be your best self.
And then that night I met this guy.
That night we met. That was such a trip.
I mean, not gonna say it's gonna happen in a night, because that was just crazy.
Yeah,
but like
it was really crazy. Everything was just lining up to where we were both like in a real similar place when we met. It was like kind of hopeless, but having just restored hope, you know?
Yeah.
It was like hopeless of love, and then like witnessing like such pure love. It was like, and then we met.
Yeah.
And it was like fireworks, and literally there was fireworks going on.
Yeah.
When we met.
Yeah, he was holding a sparkler, and I just see him smiling at me from.
I was like, oh my god, I must meet you.
Let me burn you with
Shoot, I think we cut off at 13 minutes.
Oh, okay. So.
But,
yeah.
That was cool. It was a good story.
Yeah.
But that's why we're sober. We're not casting judgment on anybody who's not, but there are some crazy benefits to reap when you like really just clear every distraction and like tap into listening to what creation is trying to tell you to be, what God's telling you to be.
Yeah.
And there's like such blessings, dude. Like
such blessings.
Your soulmates out there. It's
like,
insane.
Fuck those fucking vices when you can have this.
Me.
No, you can't have him. He's mine.
All right, guys. See you later.
See ya.